Hello and welcome to Kuwait, where safe to say it's just a little bit warmer than back at home, but you join me today to visit an extraordinary car collection. Today I'm checking out AdelsGarage. In fact, I'm here to meet up with Dr Adel Quttainah, who's kindly invited me to head to his secret underground lair to share the collection with you. Now, some of the cars are here outside at the moment. In fact, we're visiting the Quttainah Medical Center here in Kuwait City. It's only the second time that I've ever even been to Kuwait, but it's the cars downstairs I want to share with you. The cars that are straight out of my dreams, bright colors, the limited edition hypercar barquettas. We have some iconic classics and a few unicorns and standout editions that I can't wait to take a look at. So let's head inside and go and find Dr. Adel and take a look around. Welcome then. What more do I need to say as we go for a little walk around of, quite frankly, one of the most amazing places. Your eyes do not know where to look. The colors, the four speedsters that surround me. I think perhaps the only collection in the world to feature all four of the cars of this nature that you could call hypercars, hypercar barquettas. But not just that, the McLarens, the limited series V12 Ferraris, Cherry Bomb, Koenigsegg Regera, a lovely specification on the Ford GT, and then even more cars that are tucked in and tucked around the various corners. This is one of those times where I don't quite know where to look, when I don't entirely know what we should take in first, to be completely honest. I've taken a little bit of time just to absorb some of the cars in this garage because it's uncanny to me that a lot of this is literally the stuff that I would dream about owning. The colors, the cars, the brands, the particular cars that are actually here as well. So I think I should go and find the man to tell us some more so that we can dive fully into AdelsGarage. Hi guys, I'm Shmi, hello and welcome back to the channel where today I think we've found super and hypercar paradise here in Kuwait. Adel, how are you?
Tim, finally, huh? Finally we meet.
We're here.
Yeah. I mean, we met before at the McLaren Ball, but you know, it's good to have you here in Kuwait. Yeah, years ago, yeah.
But now here in Kuwait, and what a place, I've got to say.
Yeah. Well, this is my garage, and I'll be happy to kind of walk you around and we can
appreciate it.
We'll talk about things that we love.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
this isn't just a garage. This is a passion, right? You must absolutely love these things.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, when my paychecks stopped bouncing, I started getting these things like one after the other. Yeah?
And so we have a shared thing here when it comes to colors and specifications. Yeah. Because clearly you put a lot of thought into what you have here in the garage. True.
I mean, it's never easy trying to spec a car, huh? And you don't want to be like the you know, when the factory kind of puts out a new model, they put that color on it. You don't want to go that way.
The launch specification.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you try to kind of, you know, and I don't know. It's just, you know, I spend a lot of time trying to spec cars, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
I think the thing that's probably most unique about your collection that I don't think I've ever seen before is the fact that you have a Monza Stirling Moss V12 Speedster and Elva together.
Actually, I think I'm the only one actually that has the four Speedsters all together.
Which is amazing. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. And you've even driven them all together.
True.
Just the most epic photos. Which came first? Where did that begin?
The Monza.
Monza.
Yeah. The Ferrari Monza came first. I mean, I had the allocation, and then a lot of people thought that this is not going to be a practical car. You know, the Icona series, that didn't mean anything. You know, but like, you know, one look at the car, and then I could, you know, I could see it.
This is blue Corsa, I think.
It is.
Giallo Modena heritage livery.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you haven't held back on the specification. It's a strong color scheme. It's sitting center stage here. Is it kind of one of your absolute favorites?
It is, actually. It is. Yeah. It is.
It is a genuinely stunning car. I mean, I've experienced it twice before now, and just you don't realize how much fun it's going to be.
Aesthetically, it's extremely pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
So.
It's a beautiful shape. Yeah. It's got all of that Ferrari history. It's got a V12 up front.
Absolutely.
I just think the way they finished it is so truly special. So, which came after the Monza?
I mean, you know, McLaren then I think they got jealous of Ferrari, and then they came up with this thing.
They said, let's make the Elva. 149 cars.
Yeah. I mean, this actually, I had a lot of trouble trying to spec. Yeah. And then I said I'll just go basic. And then just added a few accents to it, you know.
But it works. The exterior accents
Yeah,
tie in
yeah.
with the seats inside.
Yeah.
It's such a funny thing because it's ballistically powerful, over 800 horsepower. There's a 4-litre V8
True.
back here.
Just went with the carbon fiber here and the carbon fiber at the end of,
Yeah.
when the spoiler goes up, it's all carbon fiber also, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
It's funny because on the face of it, and I know you drive I think a 720S as well. It's a similar car in many ways.
it is actually.
But
yeah,
it's absolutely dialed up.
yeah. I mean, to me, the 720S McLaren is probably the most practical car that you can drive.
Yeah.
It's an everyday car, and I drive it every day.
Surprisingly usable considering.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But that was the idea. That's what McLarens have always done very well. The ride is brilliant, suspension, comfort.
And surprisingly, no hassle-free almost, yeah. So what came after the Elva was of course, then Aston Martin got jealous, and then they came up with the Speedster. They called it the Aston Martin Speedster or V12 Speedster, yeah.
One of 88.
One of 88. That was really nice to spec, you know.
It's quite an unusual spec you did with this. The satin red paintwork with the black stripes.
Matte red, yeah, and then 2 stripes, yeah. And then, of course, at the back, with the helmets showing, that's really kind of, that does the job. Man.
That's one of the best design elements of a car, isn't it?
Yeah.
To have those exposed and visible like this, and to have a decent amount of space back here.
True.
Obviously, Aston have now introduced the new Vantage. Have you checked that out already?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
It's quite a car.
Yeah, true.
This is where I noticed more cars tucked in. We'll to come back to those in a minute.
Yeah, I will.
But come back to what's there. We've got to talk about the Stirling Moss, and we've got to talk about the wall behind it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I had this painted in honor of Stirling Moss. And actually, like just last year, I had that thought of actually inviting Sir Stirling Moss here. Just so kind of, I don't know, it's just a thought that I had. And then, of course, I think 2 years ago, he passed away, I think recently. Yeah. So.
But an absolute legend. I mean, one of the most legendary racing drivers of all time.
True.
And that's why Mercedes-Benz named this car in tribute to him. One of only 75. But this, of course, this is a little older than the others. This was introduced, 15 years ago or so now.
But I got this from Mechatronic. I got it like brand new.
Yeah.
So I had to pay them.
Yeah, the guys at Mechatronic are great though.
Yeah. But I'd rather get something that's brand new, smelled even new, and it drives like a new car.
You keep the roof panels stowed away in the back?
Yeah.
The roof panels, the canopy panels, I don't know what to call them. I think it's stunning. To me, there's something extra special about the SLR Stirling Moss.
Yeah. It's really long, huh?
It's very long.
Yeah.
The length of the bonnet is, I mean, they all are when they're housing these kind of power plants up front. The Ferraris are kind of famed for that, but the Stirling Moss is a different league.
So one Speedster after the other, one after the other.
Yeah.
So just waiting for the next Speedster to come out, So
who knows what it will be.
Yeah.
So like you said, probably one of the only, if not the only collection in the world with those.
Yeah.
But I love also that you have up at this end 2 iconic classic cars.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying, all started with the DB5, like the days of Sean Connery.
Yeah. Goldfinger Bond car.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then the Goldwing. And now I'm trying to collect like old cars, but old cars have a lot of trouble, a lot of problems trying to maintain them.
Yeah.
It's not, it's
harder to look after out here.
And then they drive, you know how they drive, they don't.
Well, especially dealing with the heat here, I imagine.
True.
Because it's hot for me to walk around outside.
But even with the cold, you have to do the chokes and everything, and But I mean, they're nice, but the gasoline smell kind of hits you in the face, huh? Like really, just ignition, gasoline everywhere, yeah. So that's there was no kind of any emission regulations or anything.
Stunning though. Yeah. Those are probably my 2 favorite classic cars.
This car doesn't even have a seatbelt, man.
Yeah.
So I had problems trying to get into Kuwait and customs and all that. I said, well, you have to have a seatbelt in. This man, it's a classic,
It never had one. Yeah.
Exactly.
It was before that. Can we take a little sneak at what's tucked in around the corner?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Because this is a car, I have to confess, I truly love, but it's very, very rare.
Yeah.
The V12 Zagato, and you had this from new, I believe.
Yeah, it was like 2013.
Yes.
Or
About then, they took the V12 Vantage,
Yeah.
of which they originally made 1,000 or so.
Yeah.
This collaboration with Zagato to give it this new tail. I remember the look of these lights at the time, and the slight double bubble over the roof and the rear window. They said they would make 150, but I think demand, because it was a big car at the time, the demand wasn't so high for it, so it's become even rarer, and now they've become a true collector.
Yeah, true, yeah. I know the prices have gone up big time.
I mean, rightfully so, because
Yeah.
this generation of Vantage was really special. Oh, the details in here are lovely, aren't they?
Yeah.
The stitching on the seats.
Matches the ceiling.
Yeah, up top as well. Oh, yes. Oh, that's actually incredible.
Then it's
kind of
manual.
wave pattern.
So,
Yeah.
do you drive manual cars? Or?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Proper manual,
Yeah.
Aston, naturally aspirated V12. That's a wonderful detail as well, having
True.
the Zagato Z back there. I really like this, you know. This is
Yeah.
one of my favorites of your collection.
And the double bubble, yeah? The Zagato double bubble.
Really special.
Yeah. So,
Head back through. So the fun
Well,
thing for me actually is I have seen this P1 before.
Yeah.
Prior to your ownership, I believe the previous owner actually brought it to London.
true. Yeah,
So I
I think
saw
he had
this-
3 cars. He had the Ferrari, this, and the Porsche, I think. Yeah.
Pretty much everything, I think, in the collection.
That was his fleet, yeah.
Took
So,
them all around the world, basically, and
So-
now reunited with it.
True.
Do you particularly like your McLarens? Obviously, you've got quite a few.
I do. Ferraris and McLarens are my best kind of
I mean, two amazing brands when you think about
absolutely.
it.
So
Sadly,
the Widowmaker, huh? That's what Jamie calls it.
Your
Jamie Clarkson, he calls
Yeah.
it the Widowmaker.
The P1, because
the Widowmaker, yeah.
I like the specs together though. The yellow details against the green on the Senna.
Senna, he was Brazilian,
Yeah, of course.
So we went with the Brazilian theme, with the Brazilian flag and all that. So the scoop also in yellow.
Oh, I hadn't spotted that.
Yeah,
That's really nice.
yeah.
Yeah, stands out a lot. I like it because it's very easy with these kinds of specs to almost go too far. But for example, doing this yellow pinstripe around the end plate and doing the snorkel, those are kind of like the right amount of detailing.
So, I mean, a lot of people say this is like a really ugly car, or...
I've often referenced it as scientifically beautiful.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because
maybe.
once you understand it, you know, once you understand that this gurney flap is to flick the air up so that the air from here can come out faster,
True,
you know, it starts to make sense, and these awkward shapes start to be slightly less awkward. It's a cool thing. Have you been able to track it? Have you driven it on a race
Yeah, I
track?
did, actually, yeah.
Amazing.
It was fun.
It's incredibly quick, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but, you know, driving it on the road is a little bit, you know, you can feel everything, huh? You can feel everything.
Yeah, and it pulls everywhere because it's set up so aggressively.
True. And
But this trio.
I mean, they're all the limited V12s, yeah?
Yeah,
So,
this is
yeah.
the colours, the cars, what we're looking at here. Maybe
Skittles, huh?
Should we rewind to because the SA Aperta is a car that not many people know about. And the paint colour and the specification, you specified this from new, you had this car.
I did, yeah. I went to Maranello and I did it there, yeah. So this was like I had to go there to kind of get the car, you know.
Yeah,
So,
I love the deep red with the silver details.
and I think this is the only car here in the GCC countries, huh?
Really?
It's only Aperta, yeah.
Like the original ones?
Yeah. The
Amazing. And then obviously the next generation after
Of course, this is the Tour de France TDF, which is the limited edition of the F12s, yeah? You know that. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Is this Giallo Triplo Strato? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Beautiful colour. It's actually quite fun for me. I've teased my audience with an upcoming SF90 XX.
Yeah.
Well, I have an XX
How to spec it
Stradale
and all
coming.
that. Yeah.
And one of my specification options I teased was Giallo Triplo Strato.
Yeah.
And another was actually Verde Curse.
Yeah.
So this is a good day for me. This helps me work on my specification.
You know your colours, man.
I spend far too much time looking at the configurators. So have you driven these back to back? Have you done a one after the other, kind of get a feel for the comparison?
Back to back, no. You know,
It's
but,
worth trying. I don't know if you remember, when the TDF was launched, it was often critiqued for being a car that basically wanted to kill you. It's reckless.
True.
It's very sketchy, very edgy.
Yeah.
But if you're a driver
Snappy,
and you have a lot of experience, that's exciting. It's fun.
True. Yeah.
Whereas clearly off the back of that, to me, the 812 Competizione, while absolutely stunning and amazing in terms of its sound, has been slightly softened.
Yeah.
It's an easier car to use, an easier car to live with.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just have to drive this more often, so to get that, to kind of realize the difference between the two cars, yeah.
Oh, I really like the spec, the dark grey Alcantara with the matching green detailing.
Yeah.
I'll squeeze through. Is it unlocked? Can I take a look inside? Yeah. Maybe. Are we going to get lucky? No, this one's locked for the time being. Next time, no worries. But back here, vortex generators, the stripes, the detailing. Oh, I like what you've done inside there as well, with some details to match the exterior.
Yeah.
What a collection of the
Keeping it
V12
simple.
Ferraris.
Yeah.
That colour, I think the best paint colour Koenigsegg ever have done is this.
Apple candy.
Apple red.
Yeah, exactly.
It suits the Regera so phenomenally well.
So I try to keep it. I love the color, but I try to keep it simple with that's just two kind of very skinny
Exposed
carbon fiber.
details.
Yeah, exactly. And that just goes all the way through.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is absolutely stunning.
I mean, Christian is your friend, huh? All your videos are with Christian.
We've shot many videos over the years.
I went there once, and I met him, and they were testing on the little track.
This is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm just mind blown right now, just looking at the cars. From the Regera to the Ford GT.
Ford GT. Yeah.
Ipanema blue, I believe.
Actually, I don't know what that color is. You know, I just kind of, they have those,
Well, you could choose anything.
Yeah, and then I kind of wanted it between blue and turquoise, and then I just picked that color, and then I match it with orange. And
I actually think it's an interesting one because in photos, it looks less turquoise, less green than it is in person.
Yeah.
It's actually a stunning color with the orange details on the carbon
orange detail is
series.
nice, yeah?
I'll squeeze around past the carbon door sills.
Still drives like an American car, though.
I love mine. I've done a lot of miles with mine. In fact, mine is currently about to arrive in the United States. I've shipped it over for a few events.
So you drive it a lot?
It's got about 12,000 miles, around 20,000 kilometers on it. Yeah.
Where do you drive it to, man? London? Where do you drive it to?
Not in London.
Not in London, yeah. That's a good
Far away from London.
Yeah.
Really,
This one
really.
has like 100 kilometers on it.
Yeah.
100 kilometers on it.
Back here.
This is a Vanquish Zagato, yeah.
I guess after having had the V12 Zagato, presumably when they introduced this, you kind of had to have the matching pair.
So, I mean, yeah, this is like a gentleman's car. Huh? Nothing too exciting performance-wise, but,
it's a lovely GT.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Sounds better than a regular Vanquish.
True.
They made the V12 sound even better.
Yeah.
But to me, I think this is again about the details, right? It's about how they did the grille. It's about the rarity, 99 cars.
All the Z's, huh?
Yeah, the shapes.
Yeah.
Again, the double bubble roof up over the top.
Yeah, yeah.
Those Zagato details.
The back is actually the most interesting part of the car.
Yeah.
These.
Well, the taillights, this is actually interesting. When you've just looked at the V12 Zagato, this is kind of an evolution. A very different GT to the limited car next to it.
722, yeah, S. That's the collaboration between McLaren and Mercedes, yeah?
So did you have this before the Stirling Moss or after?
After.
So the Stirling Moss first.
After, yeah. I was looking for one that's almost brand new
Yep.
for a long time, and then kind of same company kind of told me they had one. So yeah, I got it.
Again, one of 150.
Yeah.
Super rare. Just looks amazing. But we should also sneak through.
You want to sneak through? Okay.
We've got to come and take a look. I mean, you have your GT2 RS tucked in back here. Oh, interesting spec.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yellow mirrors, yellow stickers, matching the calipers. Unusual.
True. Yeah.
This is the track weapon corner with the GT Black Series in front.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you want to set a Nürburgring lap record, grab one of those or grab one of these.
Yeah.
Oh, even you've done the washers. Did you spec this car from new?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Interesting. Just adding those small details,
Yeah.
making it more personal.
Like you said, the track cars, yeah.
Completely.
Really aggressive on the track.
And then Magma Beam, the launch color of the AMG GT Black Series.
See, with those the AMGs, I started off with the just GT.
Yep.
And then I gave it to the wife, and then the GTR. I started off with the GTR, and then I bought the GTR Pro.
Yep.
Which
Outside.
is outside, and then I got this one. So.
Amazing. I love it. I've done over 52,000 kilometers with my GT Black Series.
Yeah.
What a place. But I also like that you've got this mixture of having the painting, the mirrors, the lights, the graphics.
Yeah.
Different things around, the tiles, the checkered flag on the floor.
Yeah. Trying to, whatever work I do upstairs, I try and forget it here. Yeah. So.
Come down and just get lost in a world of cars, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Can we talk about anything that's coming in the future?
Well, two cars coming. The SP3, which is the Daytona.
Amazing.
So I spec that in that white, matte white.
Okay.
Yeah, and the blue stripes and all that.
Oh, nice.
Blue interior, and the one which is the
AMG one.
AMG one, yeah. That in green.
In green.
In green, yeah.
Unusual.
I went off a little bit, yeah.
A light green, a dark green.
Not almost.
Something between those two.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's going to be nice.
Should be getting the Daytona first.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the AMG. So
because the Daytona's kind of followed on from the Monzas, right? If you were an owner, especially from new of a Monza.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. If you can only have the SP3 if you had the SP1 or SP2.
Yeah,
That's
I think basically you had to keep them as well, right? If
true.
If you'd had a new allocation, sold it, it would have that option would have gone. And there are a few other cars upstairs, a couple of classic Ferraris, 512M, 328
I mean,
GTS.
you know, 32,
Dino.
Magnum's car, Dino, Speciale. I got the 458 Speciale.
I've seen the yellow Speciale.
Yeah. And also another Aston Martin, the G12.
Oh, of course, you have a GT12.
Yeah.
I should have spotted that was missing.
It's actually back home, so I drove back home yesterday.
So that's getting some good use? It's getting driven?
It is, I drive it, But it still feels like a track car also.
Yeah. It's a funny balance because it's not necessarily the fastest thing in the world.
True.
Like not compared to some of those types of things.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of noise and a lot of excitement
and
it's just silly.
Yeah.
And silly sometimes wins.
Silly sometimes is exciting, So.
I like the mix. Yeah. We have a lot in common in terms of cars. Loves of Mercedes.
What cars do we have in common?
4GT.
The Senna. 4GT.
Senna no more, but kind of before. GT Black Series. That's actually kind of it, but I would say sharing a passion. Because it's the same types of cars. Like enjoying the experience, enjoying the process. And I think it's a lot of fun, isn't it, to go to Maranello, to produce a specification, to join TaylorMade or the Atelier and to go through this whole experience. And to build something, like you were saying with the Senna, to come up with a spec that has a story behind it. Yeah. It's not just here are some colours.
True. And I can't wait till they come up with the new P1, huh?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Epic. Well, thank you very much for showing me around.
Tim. No problem.
You're
welcome anytime. Thanks for coming, man. Thanks.
Absolute pleasure. Totally amazing. Thank you. We should go back to something that we just touched on. The specification for my inbound SF90XX Stradale, because as I said, when I went to the Atelier in Maranello to look at different specs and to start thinking about it, two of the colour choices that were very high on my shortlist are right here. Giallo Triplastrato, Verde Curse. Not exclusively, because there are some other options I'm definitely considering, but we're not far away from locking it in. And I often say this, but there's no better way to get inspiration or ideas for the specs of cars than literally seeing other examples, seeing what the colour looks like. I mean, you see that, if you were ever considering ordering a Koenigsegg and you saw that colour in person, you'd have a very hard time to say no to it. Another colour I really like is actually the Monza Blue Corsa. I think I've mentioned it a couple of times recently because there's something about this colour. I remember when Ferrari introduced it on the 488 Spider, after the 488 GTB, the Spider was launched in Blue Corsa, and I went to the launch event of that car that they held in London. And immediately I was like, well, that's Shmee Blue, isn't it? That's kind of my colour. That's a colour that I need to have on a car, so that's definitely another option. And I think when it comes to something like the Monza, you can be bold with it. Do something like the red leather with the blue contrast stitching and the yellow Cavallino Rampante, the prancing horse on the headrest. You can mix those colours together. It just works. You can't say no to it. I mean, I'm sure some people would prefer to just go black, plain black or white or something really simple, but I'm a person who likes vibrancy, who likes highly saturated cars, bright colours, very deep paint colours, and there's a lot of that in here. You know, even if it's down to the volcano yellow of the P1, which, yes, was the original launch colour of the car when they presented the final production model and the most common colour ordered for it, it's still suiting it so well, especially with all the contrast, and it's kind of part of that era, that period. So for me, this is just dreamland. This is like kid in a candy room stuff, right? Especially being surrounded by the four Barchettas together. And then not even just those. The fact that this is a collection out here, as we discussed, with some legendary classics, the 300 SL Gullwing and the Aston Martin DB5, two truly special cars. And it's often something that people don't really discuss, but one of the hardest things with classics like these out here with the temperatures in the Middle East is running them. Because obviously having to deal with the extra heat, having to deal with the dust in the air, the sand, it's not the same as being in Europe where comparatively, it's kind of relatively easy to run cars like that. But yeah, this is dream stuff. This is really, really special. This is amazing to have been able to visit. And it is a big thanks to Adel for taking us on the tour, for showing us around and being able to take in these cars and being able to share them. Do go give a follow. I'll pop the links to his pages over on his Instagram where you can see more of what's happening here at the medical center, along with the car collection, plus also over on the YouTube channel, sharing some more videos and driving and experiences and things about the different cars in the collection. That's it for now though. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've had an amazing time. And all I'm going to say at this stage is that might not be all. Don't go anywhere. That's it for today though, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.